Hi everyone, my name is Martin Nijgrootendorst. I work for KAL as an account manager, and I want to thank you all for joining this presentation.
Let me welcome you all in the time of COVID. And since we are online, I take off the mask that our team use for everyone who deals with the DevOps. And since we have the camera on, I will keep the shirt for sure. So hello everyone, my name is Jakub Otahal. I have been working for Česká spořitelna since 2016. The bank entered the path of the Agile world 2 years ago, and I'm the product owner of the ATM Software Innovation Squad. We are the bank with the longest tradition on the Czech market. Since the year 2000, we have been a part of the strong Central European player Erste Group. Many of our products and services in the field are the leaders on the Czech market. And this also applies to our ATM network, which is the largest on the market, with more than 1,800 ATMs and pay-in machines. Last year, we completed the migration of our ATMs to the multi-vendor platform KAL Ignite. Already during this implementation of the solution, we began to apply agile principles and selected elements of DevOps. The goal was to deliver changes to clients at the shorter intervals. We wanted to be more flexible in responding to the innovations that customers expect from us. And all this in best possible quality and at the same time with non-stop production operations. We currently release changes to production on average once every 4 to 6 weeks. This wouldn't be possible without combining development and operations into one team.
Thank you, Jakub. So what is it, DevOps? It is defined as a software engineering methodology which aims to integrate the work of software development and software operations teams by facilitating a culture of collaboration and shared responsibility. KAL ATM Software and Česká spořitelna decided last year to start using a software development methodology called DevOps. The concept of DevOps is not new, and it's probably known and used by banks for their mobile applications and internet banking development. However, it is rather new when it comes to ATMs and the ATM software and ATM software development, as in it is not the most typically used development methodology. Knowing this, we started asking questions. Why is it not widely used? Is it even possible? What are the pros and the cons? Well, I'm here to tell you that we found that the pros actually far outweigh the cons, and would like to convey the message to you that you too should look into what DevOps could mean for your ATM system development cycle. In its most fundamental form, the aim of DevOps is to shorten the software development lifecycle. So instead of 1 or 2 ATM software releases per year, you do one every 2, 3, or 4 weeks. And the way it tries to achieve this is by bringing together development and IT operations teams and facilitating a culture of collaboration and shared responsibility between them. Another way to explain this is by using silos as an example. Silos within an organization are unwanted and reduce cross-functional productivity. And DevOps actively shatters these silos, even more than just with just using the agile methodology, which is partly also aimed at that as well. Now let's talk about what we thought KAL and Česká could achieve together by using DevOps and why we opted to go down this road. It's actually quite simple. The main goal was to constantly update Česká's ATM software to be able to quickly react to customer needs and also being able to introduce the latest ATM features as they become available. We wanted to achieve this by releasing ATM software updates with up to 30 to 40 changes in each release every 3 weeks. And this is opposed to the more usual practice of updating every 6 months. Of course, nothing comes easy and without sacrifice. So let me tell you about some important pitfalls to consider. It's commonly observed that you cannot just change a company's culture on command. You can influence the culture, shift it, and while it can evolve over time, it's nearly impossible to just instruct all employees to simply change the way they think and act about specific things. The culture of any organization starts at the top of the leadership hierarchy and trickles down throughout, filling every empty space. It's thus essential that you get full dedication from top management down to everyone in the pipeline. In order to do this, all involved need to understand the advantages the shift is going to have on the organization and on the team members. There's a tendency for people to say DevOps and think automation, which on some level is true. Automation does enable us to maintain the high velocity pace of every DevOps process needed for the short development cycle. However, DevOps is not just automation. Any organization has to identify the areas where automation is most needed. In our case, that would be deployment and testing. And while this automation can be a good thing to ensure that the pace of operations can keep up with the DevOps continuous cycle, it can have unintended consequences if the automation is not set up properly and monitored. As you probably know, speed and security don't necessarily get along with each other very well. It's critical to the success of your DevOps initiative that you carefully consider a separate plan for security at every stage of your DevOps workflow. Any chain is only as strong as its weakest link, so it's critical to assure that the security of your DevOps processes is constantly strong across the workflow chain. Rapid development can lead to severe security shortfalls if there's not a separate plan of action to ensure that the speed is not outpacing the security systems designed to protect the products. So these are important things to keep in mind. Next, Jakub will indulge us with some first-hand knowledge and tell us more about how using DevOps impacted Česká in the real world.
Martin described what the DevOps means. I will add what specifically this change brought to our bank for the benefits. Today, our ATMs also offer other services. However, withdrawals still account for 70% of the total number of transactions. What is the second most common transaction in our network? It's a balance query with 24% transactions. The third most common transaction, which makes up 3% of the total number of transactions, are deposits. And right after the deposits, which transaction is the most common? These are payments. To this number, we must add other services at our ATMs, such as recharging mobile cards to obtain a loan, changing PIN, obtaining a bank identity, or new ePIN, activating a bank card, displaying card limits, displaying debts, limits, and so on and so on. Surely, you feel that there is a need for an environment that is able to bring about change more than once or twice a year. It's important for our bank to be perceived as innovators in our market. By the way, we are probably the first bank to teach an ATM to send SMS messages to our clients just when they forget to withdraw cash or when they forget their ATM card. We will advise our customers on how to proceed. It's very client-oriented. We just have to hope that clients will not forget their mobile phones there. We are also the only bank on the market that allows instant payments on ATMs. For us, DevOps is the way to effectively develop and operate this digital channel. DevOps is not the target. DevOps is never ending journey. Step by step, we automate testing and deployment. We are still at the beginning of the journey when we unify the procedures for deployment in the development, UAT, pilot, and production environment through the Team City tool. We improve monitoring, for example, by implementing performance counters. We are gradually introducing automated tests in areas where it makes sense. That is stability, performance, disaster recovery, and also for the most used transactions. All these contributes to a higher quality of releases. And this gives us more time to design and pilot new services and technologies. If I have to quickly evaluate the last 12 months, we have deployed 50 new requirements from all areas: regulation, adjustments for external and internal clients, platforms, and operations. In practice, this means an average of 40 change requests for one of 10 releases with minimal impact on production operations. That's more than 400 enhancements. By the way, our availability, which we report, is now 99.6%. And it's not for nothing that our ATM services are rated by our customers as the best of all banking services. DevOps works on the basis of absolute mutual trust between the development and production team. Therefore, the production team is invited to co-create the products and services already in design phase. On the other hand, the development team has a regular weekly reviews of the production. We maintain direct communication between developers, testers, and service owners who run the solution. The product owner does not interfere in the implementation of the requirements. All decisions are the decisions of the team, and the team must agree on them in advance. Roles of testers who guarantee quality and analysts with a high level of security knowledge are roles that are as important as the roles of product owner or developer. At the same time, we strive for as constant environments as possible. We are not pure DevOps, as we know it from the development of, for example, mobile application or microservices. But we are working to at least get as close to DevOps principles as the latest technology can allow us. For example, one of the other DevOps principles assumptions is that team members should be as substitutable as possible. The aim is to avoid unnecessary downtime, shorten implementation times, and use resources evenly.
Thank you, Jakub. To summarize, I want to emphasize what, in my opinion, are the two key elements that made this DevOps collaboration with Česko successful. First of all, it's the people, and by people, I mean people, not resources, meaning you will need their involvement not only on a professional level, but also on a personal and a human level to create those stronger organizational bonds and really make them last. Number two is technology. You need the right technology partner. You know, I say partner because the level of commitment it takes from all stakeholders, internal and external, is the same. We as KAL are just as involved and committed and part of the team, operating as a physical extension of Česko itself. Our ATM software K3A comes with a design studio to make customizations easy, which minimizes the time to market and gives Česko full control. I need to emphasize the importance of automation again here. KAL provides automated deployments. We do this via our advanced monitoring and diagnostics tool called KTC. We also provide automated testing using KAL's automated testing system called CATS. These are both crucial parts that need to be covered by some level of automation, and it needs to be done in a smart way to really be effective. KAL's terminal handler called KTH is another key element in the technological setup at Česko. It minimizes the need for changes to the main host system, which would just be another dependency, again, giving Česko more control over the whole software development process. And with that, we've come to the end of this presentation. I hope you've enjoyed listening to it and would like to thank you for your attention. Take care. Bye.
And back to work now, and goodbye.